Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Todd Lemons, and I am the Principal Solutions Architect at TestMu AI, and I'll be your host for this panel. Good to see everybody on day 2 here. Quick ask before we start: post your takeaways on LinkedIn or X, tag us, and use the TestMu conference hashtag TestMu conference on your posts. And drop your questions in the Q&A box as we go along, and we'll take a few of those questions at the end. Quality engineering leaders are being asked to do more than ever: ship faster with AI, test systems that are increasingly agentic, prove ROI to the board, keep mission critical platforms running without fail. But not everything can be done as a priority. And this panel is about what actually sits at the top of the playbook. These are all architects and leaders in the industry. So here's the shape of the next 45 minutes. Every leader on this stage placed a bet this year. Each of them had to kill something to fund it. Each had to prove it to the CFO. And each now has evidence about what worked and what didn't. Bet, sacrifice, prove, predict. 6 people. And I'm going to keep us moving. So if I cut in, it's the format. It's not you. Okay. So let's do introductions and the first questions in one pass. One line on who you are, where you work, and then straight into the bet that you've made this year. And I want the single biggest one, not the portfolio. Ali, start us off.
Hey, so my name is Ali Karnib. I'm head of quality engineering at Gallup, based out of Berlin. I've been working with Gallup for 7 years. My biggest strategic bet is basically transforming from test automation to basically test infrastructure powered by AI, basically. The goal is not that AI will basically replace quality engineer or autonomously decide the release, but it's that like with the reliable data, it can provide us like the risk area. It can enable engineers to bootstrap some testing and move basically quality engineers from being like the testers to actually the ones that are enabling the engineers to do the testing.
Okay, awesome. Hina, you're up next.
Hi, myself Henna. I work in the capacity of QA lead with TUI. I'm based out of London. I think for me the big challenge for me this year was to adopt AI with the different skill set which I have in the team. So again, looking into as Ali said, I think that's something similar where we are looking into the AI infrastructure from the testing perspective and how we can leverage that.
Okay, cool. Kumar, thanks for joining. Please introduce yourself and let us know your one biggest bet you've made this year around quality engineering.
Hello all. Very good evening. This is 𝐀𝐤𝐬𝐊𝐵. I work for Observability O2 through TCS. I'm the head of QA for consumer engineering. Nice to meet you all.
Awesome. Jim, next is you.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me here with this great group of panelists. My name is Cem Sever. I'm responsible for the testing services for Vodafone Turkey, including the automation, test environment management, and testing services. And as test engineers, we don't really like to bet, instead we build trust. And now we are trying to delegate the confidence to AI agents, and I believe that if you are not mature in data strategies and automation, AI will not help you as much as you expected. So basically, we are now investing in rebuilding the automation framework, creating a repository for both test cases, automation scripts, and also supporting the compatibility for previously used tools like Selenium, Playwright, Clarity-like applications, and driven by agentic AI, of course, and also into a serverless infrastructure. So we're gonna cope with the increased speed of the development lifecycle, and also even using the event-driven architecture now.
Cool. Sounds awesome. Akshat, over to you.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, everyone, for having me here. This is really excited to be here. And I'm Akshat. I'm Director for Engineering, responsible for quality and performance at Alkami. We are a digital banking platform based off in US. I'm based off of California, US, and we serve over 25 million customers in 400 different banks and credit unions across the United States. The biggest bet for me this year has been on the democratization of the roles. We are starting to blur the lines between SDETs and SDEs. In my career, I've seen this has been something like it's been aspirational for most of the organizations I've been at, and I think with AI as the enabler, we're getting to a point where this becomes a much less painful and very much achievable goal. We are starting to move in a direction where our SDETs are contributing more into feature development and defect resolution mode, and our SDEs are now able to more effectively test their code themselves. That's the direction we are moving towards, and we're seeing some encouraging signs.
Awesome. And last but not least, Tenny.
Hey folks, how are you? So my name is 𝐀𝐤𝐢 𝐊𝐚𝐫. I am the engineering operations lead at Best Egg. My role actually sits at the intersection of development, DevOps, and architecture, and I really focus on making our engineering org more effective and enabling our teams to do their best work. So to answer the question about the biggest bet, obviously a lot of folks are betting on AI, and I would say that the same is true here. Obviously AI, not just for AI's sake, but taking the friction out of the engineering process to really give our engineers more time and space to solve the interesting problems, the problems where their experience and their judgment and their creativity really matter. So from a quality perspective, that means making good quality practices easier to apply throughout the SDLC, helping us identify risk and make better decisions earlier, because ultimately we want AI to help us create more space for engineers to engineer.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks for the introductions, everybody. We're going to move into the questions now. Okay. To make room for agentic AI and new automation, what legacy practice like massive manual regression cycles have you deliberately deprioritized, and was it hard to let them go? And we'll start this off with Jim.
Okay. Actually, we have not deprioritized the legacy ones, but we are approaching very cost consciously, identifying the opportunities with real efficiency, and frequency of reusability is also very important. While we are building new services, we definitely build it considering AI in mind, but quality does not mean the appetite for risk management for us.
Okay, over to you, Akshat.
So Todd, it's kind of in alignment with what Jim said. First of all, I would like to rephrase the question, because I don't think we have deprioritized anything. I would say we have replaced those activities. For example, because deprioritization has a connotation that we have kind of accepted some more risk, and I don't think we have done that.
Yes.
Taking into account, for example, manual cycles. Manual regression cycles, they gave us confidence. They give us confidence that the product that's going out is of the right quality. We have replaced that with much more smaller cycles, much more tighter coverage, using automation or using agentic AI solutions. Same things, we've been focusing a lot more on eliminating the repetitive tasks that our resources have been focusing on, like test case authoring, writing test automation scripts, maintenance of scripts. So we have replaced those activities with more of activities which enhance their skill set, plus at the same time, it enhances the confidence score for the product. They're focusing more on thinking about the edge cases, learning more about the customer flows, and trying to expand on the coverage that agentic solutions are providing us. So yeah, like I said, it's not deprioritized, but we are shifting.
Shifting. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Ali, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I would actually do echo what both of my fellows said. There is no deprioritization here. It's just a shift, I would say. So as one of the things that we're kind of trying to change is late stage regression cycle, which basically we're trying to make our cycles much smaller, testing more I would say, targeted, risk-based, and but we still have like full automated for regression runs overnight. This basically bothers no one, and it still produces some result. But we're moving more into deliberate risk-based and targeted testing. We also like didn't really move away a lot. Like I'm seeing something coming back, like a bit more of a need of exploratory manual testing, but exploratory testing, not just go and check off box testing manual. Like, but more, how can I break this? Because I mean, AI can bootstrap automation for you, can bootstrap the code, can bootstrap, but cannot behave like a human. So we're kind of bringing this back a little bit. Just this is the feature, this is the risk. Go and try to break this part manually. So that's something we're kind of doing.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Moving on to the next question, and this one hits hard with us since we're a tool company. But tool sprawl is a massive hidden cost. With many organizations running multiple automation frameworks side by side, is tool consolidation a priority for you right now, and how do you go about doing it? And this first one goes to Kumar.
Oh, sure. I don't think tool consolidation should be the end goal. That is absolutely not the end goal, because different teams can use different engineering platforms, different technology, different tools. And what I have noticed, there are multiple tools. They are capable to solve very specific problems, right? And sometimes you need these specific problems to be solved. So it is very important that we respect all the different tools and technology. Doesn't mean we have 30 different platforms or tech used within the organization, but the most important part is understanding the right technology used in a proper manner. And that is something is very important for me. um, Rather than consolidating the tool, my main focus is always on consolidating the processes, the practices across engineering. For example, um, reporting is something that should be standardized, so that no matter which platform or which technology or which framework is used, there should be a consolidated platform where you get to see the overall status of the work that team is doing. You should have a standardized CI/CD, right? So that everybody could follow that. So my focus is more on capability and engineering patterns rather than consolidating all the tools, tech, or frameworks. However, the way I have configured or consolidated the tools, that I would say is, whichever platform my team is using from the testing point of view, we make sure that all the objectives are met. For example, if we are doing automation, cross-browser testing, accessibility testing, or for that matter, API testing, we try to build our framework and the ecosystem around it in a way that you just automate once, and rest of the things are done automatically using the single script that you have developed ever. That's what my thought is on this.
Yep. Write once, reuse everywhere. All right. Next up to you, Tenny.
Yeah, I think I'll echo a lot of what Mar said. Right, is my audio weird?
Yeah. We can hear you. It's a little, but we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll echo a lot that Kumar said. I'm hearing a lot of echo. But I guess that's appropriate.
Yeah, we don't hear the echo, so you can keep going.
Okay. But yeah, I think tool consolidation is the secondary benefit of really honing process, because process is really where a lot of the burden lies. So in my role, I do a lot of process optimization that involves obviously tooling, assessing tooling. Part of that involved assessing Lambda test or TestMu AI as a tool, and that involved a lot of rigor. We looked at what was most important, what the engineering team the opportunity to do what they do best. Kind of like what I said in my initial answer, it's important to me and it's important to the engineering org to enable them to do what they want to do, flex their skill set, really creativity to approach problem solving. And I think AI is obviously a huge piece of that. We're going to continue AI being a big piece of that. And I think that will only runway to good outcomes because now it's not the engineer toiling over the things that you maybe don't want to do, or is that as effective to getting those outcomes.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Can I ask a follow-up question for him? I'm a little bit interested.
Sure. Like,
so
real quick though, so we don't
yeah,
take up too much time.
how do you prevent this from becoming the Wild West, like chaotic? Because this can easily sprawl into like chaos. How would you prevent that?
Did that question go to Henny, or who did that question?
Henny, yeah.
Okay. So Henny, the question is, how do you keep from going the Wild West?
So I do think there is an element of the Wild West to it to begin with. I think that to make sure that it doesn't devolve into that, you need to have strong leadership. And I think we're all strong leaders here. So kind of taking those values of leadership and making sure that you make the right calls at the right time. You know, maybe we invested too much time into looking into XYZ tool. Maybe we pulled too many people away from their day jobs to do exploratory or discovery work on tooling. So that's where I kind of take my role in order to vet these tools, these processes, to make sure that what comes down the funnel to the engineer isn't, you know, that lawless land. I have a set of standards, but I also work with other very strong leaders in our engineering org to make sure that XYZ delivers the outcomes that we're looking for. So we do, you know, POCs, we do discovery phases, and ultimately, I think in those exercises, you hone those, you hone that blueprint, so that you can repeat these processes different, in different explorations.
Okay.
Todd,
Awesome.
can I answer? Can I add some point?
Yeah, go. I mean, come on. Listen, it seems to be a hot topic, so let's go ahead and add it.
Yeah, no, actually, I understand where Ali's coming from, because especially in growth companies and in larger organizations, the sprawl can become really, and it could really add a lot of burden. And to be honest with you, I think, Ali, I think till last year, consolidation was one of the first things I would do when I would go into an organization. Like I come in and I see 5 different teams using 5 different frameworks. There's a huge opportunity to consolidate and show some quick results. But I think in the agentic world, I think this is one of the mind shifts that I personally have had to do. With the abstraction that agentic solutions are providing, it becomes a lot easier to manage. As an engineer, you're talking to an agent, and it abstracts out that complexity of multiple frameworks underneath. Not that it eliminates it; it actually starts hiding that. But all it does is, in my experience, is like we are starting to get to a point where we are letting those frameworks die a natural death, instead of forcing expensive migrations and investing more onto the agentic solutions rather than changing and forcing people to adopt to new frameworks and consolidate.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one, Akshay. Hannah, you're the last one on this topic.
I think from all, like I completely agree with what everyone is saying about this, and this is what we do is like we follow the same process how we did manual. We converted ourselves, all the QA engineer and QA team from manual to automation. Right? You do not need to automate everything, but you need to know what you need to automate. You need to have that risk analysis done. In the similar way, you do not have to do everything with AI. You can still generate the scripts with AI. You can have those scripts and you can use those scripts. you can have the cost saving. So you need to really understand the technology which you're using, and you need to know that where exactly should I be using those technology. So from tooling perspective, when we do any POC for any tool, we do that POC, and definitely it happens that multiple people are doing multiple things. But then we have our in our organization, we have security team, we have AI lab team. So there are certain guidelines which are being provided by them. So as a leader in every department, there's a responsibility which we are tied to follow those certain guidelines, that let's follow these things and let's abide by these things. And we educate a lot our engineers on those things, because I think that is the more important thing which we have, where we can actually leverage them and they can be more productive in using the AI, and adopting and figuring out that how AI can solve the pain area which we are going through.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. We're going to move on to the next topic here. When proving the ROI of quality engineering today, which metrics actually land with your executive team? And conversely, which legacy metrics have you stopped using or that you've retired? And we'll start this one off with Ali.
I would not say we stopped using any legacy metric. I mean, like, there are some metrics like test counts and whatnot. This was never really something that we looked at. Like, I don't care if it's 10,000 tests or 10 tests, as long as they're producing a result. The biggest metric that lands currently is basically defect escape and incident rate.
Right.
If we're able to drop those, then we're basically doing our job. If we have 1,000 tests but we have a high incident rate, then we're basically not doing a good job. But we have 10 tests and we have a very low incident rate or this defect escape rate, and actually doing a pretty good job.
Okay.
That is the single most important metrics as of now, especially with AI and like with the speed and agility that we're pushing. This is one of the biggest and most important metrics to look at, because I mean, there's vibe coding going on even with engineers. So.
Yep. Tenny, over to you.
Yeah, so I would say the customer doesn't care about how many tests you write, how many tests you run, how many passes or fails there are when you run those tests. At the end of the day, they just care about customer experience. So I think that that's probably the most meaningful metric to us, is that, are we giving our customers the confidence in our platform? So obviously that means little incident. There aren't many incidents being reported. Customers aren't finding edge cases. Again, maybe that means that the backend testing is strong, that we have a lot of representation across all different use cases across our platform. But at the end of the day, what is most important to us is how the customer responds to our product and to our brand. And if that is positively, then we're doing the right thing.
Awesome. Sounds great. Akshit, over to you.
I echo a lot with what Ali said. We're not measuring metrics which show testing progress. We are more focused on the outcomes. Escape defect ratio, that's a standard one that we track. We track a lot about trends in our severity and by the product area. So how many escape defects we're getting in each product area, by how much severity. That is something that we go to our executives a lot with. There is a space for legacy metrics as well, though. I think, especially talking to the teams, individual teams and individual contributors, legacy metrics do have a place over there. We do want to track how much of coding days and how much of test case authoring and test script authoring is being done by individuals. On the other side, we are focusing more onto the observability into the platform side as well, looking into our reliability trends, looking at severity issues, what's the blast radius of the issues that we are getting. So a lot of those metrics.
Cool. All right, we'll move on to the next topic here. For consumer platforms, what does true readiness look like for your team when preparing for these make or break moments? And we'll start this one off with Hannah.
Can you repeat your question, please?
So for consumer platforms, what does true readiness look like for your team when preparing for these make or break moments? I guess for a release. Sorry, I didn't write the questions, but so what
yeah,
does true
so
readiness look like prior to a release?
if you're talking in context of AI, I think we have not reached that stage where we are like completely AI, streamline everything AI. But yes, there are a lot of things which is like my automation report, right? I do have to do the analysis for my automation report. So we do have our own little prompts and agents where we are doing that evaluation. We're using a lot of AI technologies where we are able to evaluate those reports, and our engineers are basically more focusing on those exploratory testing, which will always be like now, which is a niche. Um, if I talk about the timelines, we still have not uh, able to crunch it more further. But I think this is one of the target or one of the specific area where we see that, okay, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 items which we want to convert to AI, or when these process can be taken care by AI. And how can I leverage those things, including that it is not impacting my quality. So to name one, it's like, okay, I have automation execution done. My report is ready with the evaluation along with whatever has happened during my execution. We see those reports and we say, okay, fine, these are the outcomes. Let's focus on this particular piece. Now we have certain skills where we can filter out our release notes. We can filter out what were the defects were identified during the sprints. We get some kind of an input of or the direction where we should be focusing in the current release, where the defect density could be. So I think these are certain changes, way of working, which is changing with the AI. And I think in order to, I will not say that, and I don't foresee that I will be able to achieve anything in next 6 months or so. I cannot foresee that, because for me, I think how I'm seeing this all is that we are also changing the way we are working. So we need some adoption. We need some mindset change on these things. How we thinking, how we actually were thinking, how the release were going around. The
Yeah,
objective is same, but now how we are doing it is all changing for us. So I think
okay.
that is something, a bigger challenge right now, which we are trying to sort out.
Let me drill into this question a little bit and give you a little bit more specificity. During your last go no go call that you were having with management on whether or not to go to production, what were you looking at to make that decision?
I think we are still looking into the same thing. We look into the automation results, and we still look into the defect analysis. We still look into the results from the manual validations. So
Okay.
those have not changed for us anywhere, and I don't think that is something which we will be changing anywhere.
Okay. Jim, you're up next.
I can say there should be no impact to business continuity, such as, sales activities grow, and no impact to customers and given services to customers. So
But last time you did a production release, what were you looking at to make that decision of whether or not to go to production?
we usually, as explained in the metrics part, look at the quality part, no slippage to production, and also we are looking at the time to market. But in the AI world, now the accuracy of the outcome is also one trust factor, let me say. So we definitely look at the results of the tests and regressions, the final, if there's no impact to other services as well, not the service itself. So we are securing it for our customers. We are, as I said, at zero defect levels, and we don't want to change this customer trust.
Cool. Kumar, how about you guys? What last production release that you did, what were you looking at to make that decision?
So see, I would like to take it away from the AI zone, because this question is very different and it has got nothing to do with AI, honestly. And it's my personal opinion, right?
Mhm.
I will put it into three main levels: technical, operational, and organizational. Okay. Um, all test cases executed successfully and passed and everything is green is not the true readiness, right? The important thing here is, can the platform handle the demand, right? Can my customer complete end-to-end journey? And what is our readiness in case anything goes south, right? So these are the three importance levels we always keep in mind, and they are always there in my radar, right? If you are ready on these three fronts, then the chances of failure are very less, and you can recover very quickly, even if something goes wrong, right? So the first thing that I said, can the platform handle the demand, is all about capacity and resilience, right? Whether your platform is capable enough or resilient enough or not, right? The second one is about the customer journey and customer satisfaction, right? It doesn't matter if my APIs or my platform is like 99.99% green, but if my customer is unable to complete the journey, we are not ready, right? And this product cannot go in the production environment, right? Because it is not solving customers problem. So the important bit is, when it comes to the readiness, I always look for three answers. Did we test it? Yes, we did. Do we have the evidences that platform can handle the expected demand, my customer can complete the journey, and I always have a plan B, just in case if anything breaks, how quickly we can recover and provide these services to our customers. So if all these three areas or three checkpoints are checked, we are sorted, we are ready. If there is any gap, there is always some sort of risk. And we work on the plan to mitigate these problems.
I'm hiring you for my release manager, that's for sure. All
No,
right.
from the quality point of view, you have to put multiple hats, right?
Yeah.
You are not the person responsible for test execution, right? You are the person responsible to ensure business runs properly, and business can run properly when customers are satisfied. So customer satisfaction is the key. All the surrounding things, they come automatically.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for the answer. We're going to move on to our next question. Looking at your own AI investments in the quality practice, which bet has already paid for itself and which one are you still in a wait to see phase? And we're going to start this one off with Akshit.
Uh, yeah, this year has been really exciting. A lot of exciting opportunities and a lot of initiatives that have gone into the AI enablement zone for us. Uh, I would put them in three buckets: one which have paid off, one which looked promising, and something which fizzled out. The ones that has worked out for us has been mostly replacement of monotonous activities that our SDETs have been doing. It's like test case writing, test script writing, maintenance of test. I mean, those are some of the areas where we have seen tremendous gains, and that has really added to our velocity increase, our productivity improvement a lot. Some of things have not really panned out. We spent some effort into consolidating our test cases because that was one of our activities that SDETs found a lot repetitive. But the results were mixed for that. The context part was what was missing for us, and at some point it became a decision between providing more context versus the ROI in terms of token usage for us. Some of things that really look promising for us is the expansion of our coverage. Uh, our platform is really extensible. We have over 400,000 possible combinations of configurations that we have, and we cannot test for all customers under all configuration settings. So that's where um, leveraging AI is starting to really come up useful for us. We are now able to correlate production usage with the combinations that we should test for, and constantly update what scenarios that we should be reviewing and adding into our coverage where we have gaps, and start leveraging our skills that we have already developed for test case authoring and test script generation to plug those gaps. So those are some of the promising ones that we are looking forward to.
Okay, thank you for that. Kumar, you're up next.
Oh, sure. AI is amazing, right? I personally love it. Every day I use AI. Um, if I have to answer your specific question, right? It is
So
already
which initiative is already paid for the
sure.
cost of AI, and which one are you still questioning?
Sure. So when it comes to the engineering productivity, it is great. It is already helping. Now you can create the test cases, you can automate them, you can analyze the results, you can set up the test data very quickly and very efficiently. AI is really very good when it comes to all these things, right? Um, Code has become the commodity, right? Everyone is aware about that. However, I am still in the wait and watch mode for few things. For example, uh, AI cannot take all the decisions on their own, right? On its own. I would really like to see the day comes when I can throw the application and AI gets into the mode where it can identify or prepare the test cases, execute them. And when I say identify and execute the test cases, I mean it should be in the position to, write the right test cases, right? It is not the case that you can simply write anything. At this moment, I don't think that AI has reached to the point where it can replace human judgment, but AI is going in the very right direction. And I'm very confident the day will come when the gap between human judgment and AI expertise will reduce significantly. However, it cannot replace humans, right? It should not replace humans. I don't want that to happen. It should be used as a tool or a technology that improves the efficiency. So AI has paid for itself when it's um, augments engineering, right? Or engineers. Um, I'm still, cautious about AI replacing um, engineering judgments or human judgments.
Okay, thank you for that. And I'm glad you put the disclaimer about not wanting to replace humans, because if your vision pulls out, none of us will have a job. Jim, over to you.
Okay, I think there are two kind of usage of AI. First one is testing of AI services, AI developed services, which I can say it paid for itself, including the business benefits from start, and is easy go decision. And the second one is AI services for the testing part. We have such business cases like segregation of defects, identifying those defects as in terms of triaging before fixing the test defects, including even environmental defects, infrastructural defects. Writing the test cases using AI agent from BRDs, including technical documents. I mean, verification of the same and looking at the coverage. So I can say the documentation is better. So you have better in different domains. I mean, the outcome is changing according to the maturity level you have in that specific domain. So if you invest on lean processes and the documentation, it will also pay back.
Okay. So we've only got 7 more minutes, and so I want to take 1 or 2 questions. And let me pick a couple good questions out here. We'll answer this one here, and this is coming from Bharat. Do you guys see that? What happens when 2 agents disagree about the correct solution? And I'm going to hand this one to Ali. So what happens when 2 agents disagree about the correct solution?
Well, this is where human judgment should come into play. Okay, yeah, you're let's say you're running Claude, Codex versus Claude, and like this is where you come into play as a human. You're the decision maker. If you're letting AI make that decision for you, then there's another problem that we need to talk about. But it's you're the one who's making the decision, and you're the one accountable for what the AI produces at the end of the day. It's not the AI is not accountable. You are the one accountable, so you're the one who's supposed to make the decision between which one is the best solution. So use your best judgment for that.
Okay, awesome. And it's weird. We've got a question that says, "What happens if AI gets stuck in the loop?" And we've got like 200. Okay, so here's the next one. As AI agents become capable of designing and executing tests autonomously, what should leaders do to ensure speed doesn't come at the expense of trust and reliability? And I'll hand this one over to Kumar.
Sure. That's where humans come into play, right? AI is doing the job. Human intelligence is there to oversee whether the job is done correctly or not.
See, we do have a place, Kumar. We do have a place.
I never said that AI is going to replace the humans. I don't advocate that. But I mean, if you have picked up my last answer, my thought process is always that if we have the tool or the technology, we should invest in it so that it helps us back, not it replaces humans or anything else, right? I mean, we can take the example, right? Earlier there were small bikes. Now we have big bikes. There are cars. There are aeroplanes. That doesn't mean we have got the aeroplane, so we have stopped using bicycle, right? We still use bicycle, but they have different things. You wanna reach somewhere quickly, you use aeroplane, right?
Yeah.
But if you are health conscious, ride the bicycle, right?
Okay, good. So I'll write test case to be healthy. I'll manually write test cases. All right, guys, we're running out of time, so go ahead.
Can I add to that question? Actually,
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, but quickly, so we can finish up.
Real quick. I think one of the thoughts I would add is like with AI, the proliferation of AI agentic solutions, I think the scale of output has grown exponentially. So I think as QA leaders, I think one of our key focus areas should be observability. I think that's where I'm seeing gaps even in my organization. That it's not important how many tests are being run. It's like when it finds an issue, how fast can we get down to the root cause? And especially with the volume of code, volume of test cases that is being done, that is being written, getting to that root cause quickly and faster is going to be the read.
Well, if you don't catch it in observability, your customer will catch it as they're observing it. So, all right. So here's how we're going to end it, guys. We're going to do one bold prediction for quality engineering by the end of 2027. So the rest of this year plus all of next year, where are we going to be at? Two sentence answer, and we'll start with Jim.
Okay, I believe there will still be human intervention, more than expected, I can say. But the skills needs to be changed. I mean, my friend says already there will be more experienced testers named as maybe business experts or architects. But testing will have more importance, creating broader roles like chief quality officer maybe. A friend of mine is calling this as the trust engineers. Okay, testing is supposed to give confidence going live, but now we are expecting to delegate AI to create confidence and create the trust while orchestrating the risks. So risk management is gonna be the hot topic since the development phase is getting much higher every year. Maybe the version upgrades or security patches kind of upgrades might be seamlessly with the help of AI.
So just give us one sentence so that we can check if you're right by the end of 2027. What is your bold prediction? That one sentence. Where are we going to be at? And is Jem going to be correct?
I think we will do a lot of getting a lot of benefits out of AI. But as I said, the roles will be differentiated.
Roles will be different. So Jim's
Yes.
prediction is that our roles will be different by the end of 2027. Hannah, you're up next. What is your bold prediction? We're going to check you on it. What is that sentence?
I think roles will evolve within
Roles
the
will
QA.
evolve.
Yeah,
All
roles
right,
will
so
evolve.
that's two.
Yeah.
Two for roles will evolve. Ali, you're up. What's your bold prediction? We're going to check you.
Well, it's basically the same, but it's gonna own the quality engineering will be owning the trust framework, the observability, behavioral risk model, the behavioral boundaries, all of that. And the single most thing that I'm seeing what will happen is AI will help quality engineer basically shorten time distance between identifying the risk and taking the action.
All right. Tanny, what's your bold statement? Let's go.
Yeah, so I mean, I will definitely echo what everybody else has said. I think that traditional quality engineering or QA is going to look a lot different because I think that they're going to have to work very closely hand in hand with AI. Obviously, there's still going to need to be that human element, but I think that they're going to need to get a lot more sophisticated in not just reacting to problems or preventing problems, but like very much anticipating them in an intelligent way.
Yeah. Kumar, let's go. What's your bold prediction?
Productivity and efficiency will improve massively.
Oh, yeah.
We have
I
already
agree.
seen that, right?
Yep.
QA should focus on looking at the assignment as a product instead of as a project. Become the product SME, become the expert of the domain, gain as deep knowledge as possible, right? And nobody can replace you then.
All right, Akshay.
Quality engineering will become risk engineering. Writing tests will not be part of any job description of an SDET. Reviewing what agent tests and accepting what risk is valid is what going to be the job of an SDET, in my opinion. And
Right.
as leaders, we should be focusing on teaching our teams how to do that judgment rather than the syntax.
Yep. All
This
right,
is
guys.
this is what I'm actually looking for right now. Whenever I need to hire an quality engineer, that's what I look for. If you come to me and say, I automating this much test, I did this much, this for me, this is no longer a metric for me. This is
Totally agree.
I don't know if I'll pass your interview, Ali.
Yeah, Cursor can do all the job in like 15 minutes, right? It can scan your code, it can write the test cases, it can automate, and even it can fix the problems, even in the developer's code, right? So that's not the important thing. The important thing is whether the right decisions are made or not, whether your product will work in production or not, right? Whether
Yeah.
customer is able to complete the intended journey or not. If that objective is met, you are a successful quality engineer.
Right. Let me give you guys my bold prediction. Okay. The SDLC is going to change significantly. I mean, you're going to be able to reduce teams down to 2 people, one on the quality engineering, one on the development side. You'll be running Kanban. You'll just be pumping things out. All the automation will test it, ship it to production without all these massive release cycles. So there's my bold prediction. You guys check me on it, okay? All right, Ali, Hannah, Kumar, Jim, Akshay, Tenny, thank you guys. 6 predictions plus 1, myself, and I suspect we'll all be checking each other's predictions next year when we meet.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's take this conversation to social media. Tag us, use hashtag TestMuConf. Happy testing and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you guys so much. It's been a really interesting talk today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good one.